Ooh, that has to sting a little bit. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sam. If you are new here and this is the first time you are seeing my face, welcome. I make weekly videos dissecting internet nonsense, so if you're into that kind of thing or you like today's video, I hope that you'll consider hitting the like and subscribe button so that you never miss another upload from me. If you've been here before and keep coming back week after week, thank you. I appreciate you and I'm glad you're here today. So while I was doing research for my last video, the fat acceptance fashion reaction, say that 5 times fast, I stumbled across Abby Hoy's TikTok. And while I used a couple of her clips, it was really difficult to limit myself to just those two. So I figured, you know what? Abby Hoy is getting her own video. If you've never seen Abby on TikTok before, she reminds me of Anna from Glitter and Lasers. She's very bubbly, loves bright colors, has an amazing wardrobe and really bright, colorful background sets. And honestly, I'd follow her if her content was mostly fashion related. But Abby dabbles in fat acceptance rhetoric. As I was looking through her TikToks, she started out doing med checks and talking about the importance of mental health, alongside her fashion hauls and thrifty fashion finds. And as far as I can find, Abby describes herself as a person who has fibromyalgia, PTSD, OCD, anxiety, and depression. And I want to be clear that I appreciate her posts reminding people to take their meds and destigmatizing mental health. And I also really like her openness in discussing relationships and insecurities about intimacy with your significant other. They honestly just make me laugh because she's right. They can see that you're fat beneath your clothes. It's not like you fooled them and they're going to be surprised that you aren't thin as soon as they see you in your birthday suit. But when it comes to her fat acceptance rhetoric, there are a few things that stuck out to me. So I want to point them out and discuss them with you guys today. Let's dive in. To connect to my last video about plus size fashion, we heard a lot of talking points from Abby's colleagues online regarding them purchasing fast fashion because thin people were buying all of the clothes and that it's hard for fat people to find clothes that fit them. We even heard a few videos ago Virgie mention that a lot of fat people live with scarcity mindset and so they're holding on to clothes that they maybe don't need. And to those videos, I'll add these 2 clips from Abby's channel.
So much clothing, a problematic amount of clothing, an amount of clothing no one person could ever wear in an entire lifetime. I have a pharaoh's wardrobe for no reason.
Well, hello, unboxing and try-on friends. We are here to do a very exciting unboxing try-on for you, but first we have to have a little chat. I'm doing this unboxing from Shein. Now listen, I know that Shein is really bad. I highly recommend that everybody do a little bit of research before they start looking at Shein. I've linked an article in my bio so you can do a full research, but here's the long and short of it. They exploit their labor from their workers, they steal designs from small creators, they're terrible for the environment, and honestly the clothing is just not high quality. So again, go become an informed reader before we get here.
These are clips I used in my previous video, but there were bigger issues at hand that need to be addressed with Abby's content. First, Abby popped up for me when I was looking into plus size fashion on TikTok because her most popular videos are her cute outfits and fat rhetoric videos. And in these videos, she's showing off her bright, colorful, fun wardrobe and spitting some fat acceptance talking points. She intermingles these videos with her others, but I noticed while watching them with a more focused lens, they tend to be pretty repetitive. Let's check it out.
You can wear cute dresses and have flabby arms. You can wear pretty dresses and have jiggly underarm fat. The BMI is a scam that was funded by diet industry lobbyists. So overall, the BMI is a capitalist scam. Did you need a diet or did you need a therapist? Did you need a diet or did you need therapy? Sometimes your mom is wrong. Sometimes your mom is wrong.
Then I noted that even her other TikToks were repetitive, just like these.
I was talking to a friend the other day about the difference between being an old fat and being a new fat. Like in The Great Gatsby, they've got old money and new money. So like I'm an old fat. I have been fat my whole life. The conversation around me has always included my weight. And then there are people who are new fats, who were thinner when they were younger and have gained weight as an adult. And I sometimes forget that they haven't unlearned all of their diet culture trauma, their weight gain related trauma. So like here I am for you today, from an old fat to a new fat, to tell you some things I think are really, really important, okay? First of all, please, please, please advocate for yourself at the doctor's office. You know what doesn't feel right in your body. Stand up for yourself. You can also say no thank you when they try to take your weight. Your family is the biggest group of people who is the least qualified to comment on your body but feels the most entitled to do so. You can just tell them to stop.
My friend and I were talking about the other day the difference between being an old fat and being a new fat. Like in The Great Gatsby, they have old money and new money. So you're talking about like, I'm an old fat. I've been fat my whole life. The conversation about me has always included my weight. And we were talking about new fats, which are people who have gained weight and are now plus size later in their life. And how it's a completely different conversation because like, I feel like I went through all of my weight related trauma and unlearning and deconstruction early in my life that now as an adult, I sometimes forget that some people have never heard these things. Like you can still wear shorts even if you have fat thighs. You should advocate for yourself at the doctor's office. Gaining weight is a completely morally neutral thing to happen. Fat is a neutral word. You cannot feel fat, you can only have fat. So from an old fat to a new fat, I love you.
And these TikToks were alarming to me because it's clear that there is something happening in Abby's life, or something that has happened, she is fixated on. She continuously yells about mothers failing their children, being put into Weight Watchers as a child, and more. And she isn't wrong. Those things are traumatic. But I don't believe that the internet should be used as a form of therapy. And it's clear that that is what's being done here. Her talking points in the videos almost come off as affirmations to herself that she's making good choices and reaffirming that she is the way that she is because of the adults in her life failing her when she was a child. And I want to pause for a moment because I feel for her. I do. It's hard to have adults in your life that don't do their best to protect you, but the internet is not where you should go for therapy or to fix those problems. Because it's filled with strangers who can now give you feedback because you've put yourself online. And Abby is one of those people who can't help but respond now and then when she's being called out. Not unlike her fat acceptance peers.
Like when you make content, you expect to get hate comments, right? But I've just noticed this really interesting, funny correlation. That when I post videos about fashion or being mentally ill or my husband or my dog, no one has anything mean to say. But the second that I say it's okay to exist in a fat body, people have a lot to say. Anyone else ever notice that?
So Abby says when you make content, you expect to get hate comments. It's just an expectation you should have. But she's noticed that she gets more hate for simply saying it's okay to exist in a fat body. But that isn't what she's saying at all. She has never said those words in any of her TikToks. The videos where she is getting called out and getting a response are her fat rhetoric videos, where she is saying things like this.
Y'all know there's like not a single disease that's exclusive to fat people, right? Just checking.
Or this.
Just a reminder that if your opinion on body positivity is conditional on as long as it's healthy, that's not really body positivity, it's just ableism in disguise.
All things that she says just like her peers without a shred of evidence or a single citation behind it. Those are the videos that are being called out. When she is simply existing as herself, her comments are generally positive, with a lot of folks following up, asking her where she buys her outfits and more. And even with all of that said, I was also very confused on where Abby stands within the fat acceptance movement. She goes to the doctor and actually said that she only wants to hear about her body and her health from her doctor.
Hi, next time somebody says something to you like, I'm just looking out for your health when they're telling you about your weight, just say, oh my God, congratulations, I didn't know you became a doctor. And they'll be very confused and be like, oh, I assumed you were Dr. Caitlin because that's my doctor and that's who should be giving me advice on my body.
Which is quite the opposite of how other fat acceptance people feel. She used a lot of face filters that made her face slimmer, her eyes larger, and that gave her freckles, even while she was discussing body positivity on TikTok.
If you grew up in diet culture, I want you to stitch this video and tell me what you got bribed to lose weight with. I'll go first. It was a car.
She also agrees that thin people can experience body dysmorphia.
Super hot take. Losing weight will not fix your body image.
She also says gaining and losing weight are morally neutral and bound to happen to everyone.
Gaining and losing weight is completely morally neutral and a thing that's bound to happen to you over the course of your life.
But then she also says that if you assign a negative meaning to the word fat, then you're suffering from internalized fat phobia.
I was talking to my therapist earlier this week, and I said that I thought someone didn't like me because I was a fat raging liberal. And she said, that's pretty harsh. And I said, which part? They're both true. I am fat and a raging liberal, and I like both of those things about me. And she said, oh, well, sometimes people can, have bad associations with the word fat. And I said, fat's a neutral word. And she goes, it should be. And I said, no, fat is a neutral word. It is a completely neutral word that is a descriptive word. It is an adjective that describes my body accurately. It assigns no value and holds no worth, positive or negative. It simply is. And if you assign it a negative value, that's some internal fat phobia that you need to unlearn. And I don't feel like it's a negative word. And she said, this is why I love having you as a client, because your girl loves to win therapy.
It's a little all over the map. Once again, proving that many of fat acceptance talking points are arbitrary and made up. Like, how can a movement stand for everything and nothing all at the same time? So is fat a neutral word? Or are thin people who are struggling with the word fat, and that causes them to have mental health problems like body dysmorphia and eating disorders, an issue? A movement can't stand for everything. So I'm curious what Splotchmaker would think about Abby. Is she watering down the movement? Okay, so I'm going to include one final clip because y'all know I cannot help myself. And this one was just chef's kiss perfection. A perfect way to end this video.
What's my unpopular opinion? Okay, get ready. Your social media feed is curated by an algorithm that reflects you. If you think social media is toxic, you made it that way.
Anyone else think immediately that Abby was talking about her fat acceptance colleagues on TikTok who are always shouting angrily into their phones and reacting to troll comments? I actually saved this clip on my computer as Abby calls out Marissa Matthews. Ooh, that has to sting a little bit. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone, Editing Sam here. I have to stop making movie references because clearly I never remember that I did that. So now I'm editing this video and I'm like, well shoot. In the last video, I made a movie reference and the quote was specifically about people distracting themselves from their meaningless consumer-driven lives. If you guessed 10 Things I Hate About You in the comment section, congratulations, we are BFFs. If you've made it this far in this video, and you guessed 10 Things I Hate About You, or you just like 10 Things I Hate About You, leave a balloon emoji in the comment section, because honestly, the balloon splatter paint date is my favorite part of that whole movie, and I'm still low-key angry that I've not found one of those places. So leave me a balloon emoji. Or, if you know of a splatter paint balloon date place, comment the location, because I would like to go there. Alright, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.